Welcome back to the High Path channel, everybody. My name is Rosa, and we are a plant-based family of 7. Today I'm going to take you along just showing you how busy and hectic it can be in this very realistic kitchen of ours. And of course, we're going to show you lots and lots of cooking and what we ate for the day as well. If you're new and you don't know this about us, we are a large family that homeschools, we work from home, and we run a small family business here right from our home. So you can imagine all the activity that happens inside this home every single day. And sometimes it can get hectic, from doing chores in the morning to taking care of our homestead, our animals, our business, and of course, cooking and feeding and cleaning up after all of us under this one roof. But this is how we roll in this household, and we would not give it up for anything. I started this day by making some bread with Mercy. Israel is making a smoothie, and I am making me some coffee. I'm the only one in this household that drinks coffee. I love coffee, and I used to use a coffee machine. However, that coffee machine, we kind of just put it in storage, and so this is how I make the coffee. So I decided to make a mason jar full so I could just drink it throughout the week, a couple of weeks, however long it takes for me to finish this mason jar. I'm also preparing some breakfast for Trey here. I am just chopping up a couple of Honeycrisp apples and sneaking some apple myself, and I'm going to give this to him for his breakfast. Time to go outside to get some natural vitamin D and check up on our homestead and our garden. These are some of our very cute Nigerian dwarf goats, which we raise on our homestead for our goat milk soaps. Which brings us to Eden Body Care. Eden Body Care is a Nevada-based company ran by yours truly, our family, of course. All our products are handmade, and they are known for their conditioning properties. So elevate your skincare and shop on our website, EdenBodyCare.com. I am here in our garden checking up on our herbs and our seedlings just to see if anything has sprouted or grown. It's been really kind of hot, and we definitely started a little bit late on our seeds, and so we planted a bunch of things like peppers and tomatoes. We planted bok choy and just a whole variety of things, and our peppers are starting to sprout a little bit. Many of our tomatoes have not really sprouted. Isaiah is one of those kiddos that helped us. In fact, everyone helped us with this garden, and Isaiah was so proud to see his little sproutlings come up. We check on these every single day. We are hopeful, but not expecting too much, but still definitely hopeful. We should have probably purchased a couple of plants from the Home Depot or Tractor Supply, and even our nursery, but this year we wanted to try to just grow our own from seed just to see how things grow. Today we are harvesting some of our lemongrass because I decided I wanted to make a new batch of chili oil using some lemongrass. Actually, it was Trey's idea to put some lemongrass in our chili oil, so we will see how it goes. We came inside, and smoothie is made for everybody. It looks like it's a berry smoothie, and the kiddos are just going to enjoy their breakfast. Smoothies are one of those things that the kids can just handle themselves, so the older ones really like and actually are very good at doing this job. They make the best smoothies. They add like hemp seeds sometimes, they add some oats sometimes. It's really delicious. I am now shifting my focus on making some bread. Initially, I wanted to make 2 loaves of bread, but as you can see, I kind of just thought about it a little bit, and I was like, I am going to make some buns or some rolls. Now I know making just a loaf of bread is way easier, but I decided to change it up a little bit and just try to make some homemade rolls today. So I have some coconut oil here that I'm brushing onto our baking sheet just to make sure that nothing sticks. We've been making a lot of homemade bread at home and find that the kids really enjoy it, especially with some homemade vegan butter. If you've just converted into a plant-based or vegan diet and you are craving that butter and bread, I would highly suggest you watch our video on bread and butter. It's 3-ingredient butter. It's so easy to make, it's so delicious, and it actually does resemble some butter, and we love it. The kids love it as well. We highly suggest just watching that video. I will have that linked in the description down below so you can check it out. Sometimes I do like the kids helping out in the kitchen, just making things, but today was kind of hectic. I had a lot of things to do. So today I decided that I was gonna make this bread myself. Having the kids cook with me, it definitely helps. Just kind of, I could delegate tasks to our kiddos, and when they're cooking, they learn a lot as well. But sometimes it is just so much simpler to just do it yourself instead of giving instruction, having to watch over them. And it's just one of those things, every parent is different. I definitely like to involve our kids in doing most of our cooking and most of our anything hands-on, really, just so that they could learn. And honestly, it really does help mama out. But sometimes I like to play with dough too. I like to smush dough balls together to make buns. I like to make cinnamon rolls. And so today we are making some cinnamon rolls out of half of this bread recipe. We also have a video on how to make this cinnamon roll this way, which is totally different from how a traditional cinnamon roll is made. We will also have the link in the description for this specific way of making cinnamon rolls. It's actually very easy to do. It's less sweet. It's still so rich and fluffy. Just trust me and just make it this way. Cinnamon rolls seem to be one of those recipes that are so difficult to make, but really, if you make it the way that we make it, it's not hard at all. And in fact, the kids love these cinnamon rolls, and they deemed that Thursday and Saturdays are cinnamon roll days. Every day our morning routine varies because we just have different tasks going on and different things going on every single day. But generally speaking, we usually wake up in the morning, we do our morning little hygiene stuff, of course. We go outside to do our chores, check up on our homestead, on the garden, things like that. We come in, we have breakfast, or usually I'll have some bread making, I'll have some bread made already. Then it is school time, homeschool time. But sometimes, of course, if we're like filming something or if we're doing different things, school gets put aside for a little while until the cooking is done or whatever it is that we need to get done. So it really just depends on what we have planned during the day. So today we are having breakfast. We have some cinnamon rolls for everybody, and we had some extra rolls as well that the kids can have with some butter. Now you may be wondering if we ever plan our meals for the day or have like a planner for the week of meals and things like that. I am a very spontaneous person, and I like to cook on a whim most of the time. So most days during the week I don't have things planned, but I do have like just cravings, or I feel like making this and that for us for the week. Now, as far as Trey's diet goes, that's a very strict diet that he has and that he eats every single week and every single day. He is still recovering from an autoimmune issue called dysautonomia, and so we really try to stick to a very strict plan every single day for him. So of course, there's always going to be a roasted vegetable salad during the day for lunch. Of course, in the morning he takes his fruits, and then for dinner it's either a soup or a roasted veggie and roasted potato type of dish, which makes it really easy for grocery shopping because I know every single week I just have to buy his set of vegetables for his salads and soups and things like that. And then I'll just kind of fill in the gaps with anything that I feel like we are going to be making throughout the week for myself and the kids. Now, I'm not really a planner type of person in terms of like writing down something like a meal plan or something for the week and then just sticking to it, because my cravings and my taste and whatever that I see online, or I get inspired to make different things every single day, and so I like to play on that creativity and that just spontaneous, what's the word I'm looking for, spontaneity, you know what I mean. I just like to go off of my instincts and my tuition, and just whatever that I feel like cooking, I'm gonna cook that day. But I really want to be a little bit more organized, and I want to be more proactive in planning things. Let us know in the comments if you are a planner and you love like just writing down your plans for the day or for the week or for the month. We would love to know if you are more organized than us. The reason I want to be a little bit more organized is because we just have way too much going on in our household. And if I sometimes don't write it down, or if I just don't put it on my phone, I forget things. I have a very bad memory, and I do forget a lot of things. Alrighty, as you can see, after breakfast, we are immediately going to lunch prep for Trey. So I have some vegetables already in the oven, and I'm actually stepping inside my office just to do a bit of work. And while I'm working, of course, I'm multitasking. So I'm going to help the little ones with their schoolwork. So I have Grace here. I usually just help the three that really need it. Really just the two that really need it is Mercy and Isaiah. And then after that, Grace is helping us with labeling some goat milk soaps. The kids do a fantastic job helping me with things like labeling soap or cutting labels and things like that. And they also help with packing all of the orders that you guys place on EdenBodyCare.com. After about half an hour or so, the vegetables are done for Trey's salad, so I'm just finishing up the dressing with Isaiah, and then we are just going to pour over all of the dressing onto Trey's salad, and that is his lunch for the day. On to making our lunch. So I just have some tofu here that I'm breaking up into pieces. I'm going to use the exact same tray as that we use for Trey's salad. Why dirty another tray when you have one already dirty? And I'm also going to chop up some lion's mane mushrooms that we grow at home as well. Today I had a taste for some Singapore noodles. So I'm going to make a tray of just roasted vegetables and broccoli and tofu. It makes it so easy. I just pop all of these ingredients onto a tray. I'm going to drizzle it with some sesame oil. We can season it with some salt, some onion powder, some coconut aminos, which is a really great substitute for soy sauce if you are kind of avoiding too much soy like we do. For a bit of color, I'm just going to add some chopped bell peppers. I have some yellow and red, I believe. We're going to mix this all up, and then we're just going to put it into a hot oven until it's nice and crispy, about 30-45 minutes or so. So now it's time to make the sauce. So if you've never tried Singapore noodles, it's basically kind of like a curry flavor type of stir fry. So in here I have some coconut aminos, a little bit of mushroom umami stock that we made, some sriracha, some cumin powder, onion powder, some garam masala, and if I had some curry powder, I would use that as well. While we're prepping for lunch, I'm also going to be prepping Trey's soup for dinner tonight. So I'm just making a very simple soup base just out of mirepoix, which is onions, carrots, celery. I've got some potatoes here. I find that one of the staples that we like to make for Trey is always a soup, because you can start it early and then the longer it cooks the better. So I like to just get that out of the way whenever I'm prepping lunch, or sometimes I even prep it during breakfast time as well. I'm also going to be using some angel hair pasta for our Singapore noodle type dish. I find that this type of noodle is best just because it's nice and thin. It's kind of like resembles vermicelli. In Trey's soup, I also add some mushroom powder. I like to get them on Amazon, so I usually like to use the lion's mane one and the turkey tail one. These mushroom powders just get added to the soup, and it cooks nice and slow and low. At this point, it is about lunchtime, maybe 11-12 o'clock. It looks like everything was cooked to perfection. You can see our tofu bake is nice and done. I have the lion's mane in here as well, and the vegetables are nice and roasted. We're going to add that to our pot of pasta just directly in there. We're not going to stir fry this just because it's going to be sort of like a noodle salad-y, but inspired by the Singapore noodle tastes. Add all that sauce in there, and we're going to give it a toss, and it's ready for lunchtime. Whenever I'm cooking something in the kitchen, I try to get all of the cooking done as much as possible for the day, and even sometimes I would prep a few things for the next day, just because it helps minimize cleanup and everything is done at once. I really like to cook like a large batch of something like noodles or fried rice, something like that, so the kids can have it throughout the day. Since they're home, they can homeschool, they can do their activities, they can do whatever they need to do, and come and eat whenever they want to. Right here, I'm prepping our weekly chili oil because we ran out. We love this stuff so much on everything. So today I decided to add some lemongrass, which now that I look at it, I really should have picked more lemongrass. But anyway, we are adding some grape seed oil. We have some red onions, some ginger. We're gonna add some chili flakes. You can just get this on Amazon here. This is what we use. We're gonna add some cloves, some whole cloves, a star anise just for some aromatics, and we're going to start cooking this slowly. You can make this chili oil however you want to. There's many ways of doing it, but today I'm going to just cook the chili into the oil on a stovetop. Then later on we're going to add our garlic because we don't want it to burn. So I like to just use or add the garlic at the very end. And we're just going to cook this for about a minute or so just for the aromatics to come together. Meanwhile, we do have designated days for each kiddo to do dishes. So today is Grace's day. We want to make sure that we keep dishes controlled and all of the kids are responsible for washing their own dishes. Now it is lunchtime and some of the kids are here having their lunch in the kitchen. Some like to eat it in the living room while they're doing school, whatever it is that they are doing. Of course, it is time for me to taste some of this as well. These Singapore noodles came out perfect. I mean, look at this delicious plate of Singapore noodles. Of course, this is not very traditional, but it has the essence and the taste of Singapore noodles. We are serving it with a little bit of lime juice. I'm also going to add some leftover chili oil that I have, and it's time to tuck into some lunch. This really reminded me of Singapore noodles in Singapore. I grew up in Singapore for about 7-8 years of my life when I was in roughly like lower secondary, which is kind of like middle school, actually all the way from elementary all the way through to high school. Missing being in Singapore or Taiwan is an understatement. One day I really hope to go back and bring the family along just so that I could show them where I grew up and how we do things in Singapore and in Taiwan. Meanwhile, our chili oil is done, so I'm just going to put this in a jar. I like to kind of wait until it cools down for about 10-15 minutes just so that it doesn't like explode my jar. Okay, time to clean up and get ready to make some soap for the day. So Emmanuel here is helping me today. He's going to help me prep some lye. So the process, if you don't know how to make soap, a lot of people, a lot of you guys would probably not know how to make soap, but basically we have to freeze our goat milk. It goes into a lye solution. Yes, we do use lye, which is sodium hydroxide. We make soap using a very traditional, like old school way, which is cold process soap. Now, without sodium hydroxide or lye, there is no soap. You can't make soap without sodium hydroxide. Once you mix the lye and the goat milk mixture into a big bowl of oils, the lye will consume the oils, and that process is called saponification. And what you get is a finished product, which is basically salt, which is a bar of soap. And there is no remaining sodium hydroxide in a bar of soap if properly done. Sometimes if we're making bigger batches than this, I will have the kids kind of help out. We actually like to have them get creative, and sometimes the girls will create their own scents, of course with guidance, but they do create their own scents and they like to mix them up and smell things together, and then also they like to put together the colors that we use in our soap as well. Today we're making our classic goat milk soap, which is just an unscented goat milk soap. I like to have Emmanuel help me pour it out because it does get a little bit heavy. Obviously, if he's not here, I will manage, but with his help, it really makes it a lot easier for me. We started this business during COVID time, so it's like February of 2020. We started very small and we definitely grew, and so now you can see we make larger batches. You can actually find our soaps if you are local to the Las Vegas area. You can find them at the Whole Foods Market locations in all of Vegas. So the Las Vegas Boulevard location, we have the Tenaya, and we have the Fort Apache. That was probably one of our biggest accomplishments and such a blessing that we are able to get into Whole Foods. It was a huge deal. It actually still is a huge deal. Okay, so soap is made. I am going back into the office and we're going to cut some labels for our soaps. There are a lot of moving parts to business owning, especially when you're owning a handmade business, because everything is handmade. We label everything by hand. We cut our Whole Foods boxes by hand. We make those in-house as well. There's just so many things that go into our business, including also the photography. We do all of that. This is not the only thing that I do. I do also work part-time at home. I work for a retail company, a really large retail company, doing customer service. Then it is time for dinner. I accidentally forgot to film a dinner, but then we also, of course, go to the skate park to finish the day and hang out with all of our friends. This is me skateboarding. I am learning to skateboard this year. We hope that you love this video. Subscribe if you're new. We will see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.